Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay. So today I want to talk a little bit about markets. I've spoken at length repeatedly over about market sizes, but I had a conversation with one of my clients the other day about market sizes and a little bit of confusion over how big a market is for a product. And the way I want to illustrate this is to try and understand that there's a lot of overlap between markets, and defining a market size can be actually a little bit more complicated. But what we tend to say is that if we say the denti stick, which is the little chewy sticks that you give to dogs, now that is a market size of X pounds or dollars per month. And we don't know what that is when we come into it. So if we've got a client looking at launching into this market, I wouldn't suggest it, it's very competitive, but is that, you know, I did a search for dental care chews, which I would regard as probably the top level keyword, main keyword, something around dental chews, maybe dental care chews, something like that. And then if you look at that, you can see that it's worth about 1.1 million pounds per month. If you then look at a brand name, Dentistick, which is the Pedigree brand, then you'll see it's worth about £1 million. And then if you look at dental snacks, about £1 million. And then if you look at Pedigree Dentistick, which is the now we're getting into branded names, we're getting to, you know, smaller volume markets, then we see that it's worth about 850,000. And then finally a competitor, Purina Dental Life, 659. So these are all markets, what I would regard as markets, and there's just one keyword. And what we then need to do as a seller is define what's the market we're going to go after. Now, it's very easy to say, well, I'm going to go after the denticare market because that's the biggest market there is. Now, that may well be a good idea if you've got a good product and deep pockets, but unfortunately, it's quite a big market, and what you might find is that the conversion rates are really, really low, and it's very difficult to compete with that. So the way I try and illustrate it is a sort of like this sort of diagram as best I can. So the blue is the denticare chews market, so it's worth about 1.1 million. These aren't all obviously to scale. I just tried to show it as an example. So what you've got to remember is whenever you type a keyword in, that keyword has got a market all on its own. And if you typed in the word pedigree, now some of those pedigree products that would show would be an overlap between the denticare chews, because Pedigree do them, but there'd be a lot of products outside of this market that would be not relevant, because Pedigree obviously make a very large range of products. Now, again, if you typed in Pedigree and then you typed in Dentistick, you're getting closer to the market, so more of the market is going to be in there, and obviously it overlaps with the Pedigree market, but there will still be some products that rank for Pedigree Dentistick that aren't Dentisticks. Someone may have, you know, wet dog food in the listing that ranks for it, and it may not be relevant. You know, obviously you've got Dentistick, you've got Purina over here, Purina Dental Life. It may be that some of the products that show up aren't actually for that market. Bear in mind that just because you type in Purina or Pedigree, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get products by that competitor. You'll get all products that are relevant for that market. And so what you need to do as a seller is define how big a market that you're going to go after, and this requires a little bit of experimentation, a little bit of research, where what you're doing is you're looking at the various keywords and, you know, using tools, reverse ASIN tools by Helium 10, Data Dive, all of that kind of stuff, and looking at the various keywords, looking at the size of the market. And then what you need to be doing when you come to here is we'll look at, you know, who's ranking for these products. And again, I've showed you on various videos before, you know, can you compete with this? So if page one is dominated by sellers with 10,000 reviews and doing, you know, £200,000 a day kind of sales, then you probably best stay away from that. And that's probably going to be big markets like Denticare. But you might find that a Purina Dentistick may well, if you just look at that, you can see the top seller here doing 270, 160, 105. You come to Purina Denti thing, and the top seller here is doing 39,000. And so that may well be a market that you can better compete in. Now, don't add them all up and say, well, the market's worth 3 million because, these are all worth 1 million each. No, the market is whatever the market is that you're going after. And that will vary. As your product gets better known and you get more reviews, you may be able to step up and start competing for bigger markets. And this is something that gets a lot of sellers confused, is that when you type in a keyword, it presents you with a set of results, and each keyword is unique, and the set of results that come back are all unique. And they're not unique to each other because there's a lot of overlap, but they're unique to that keyword in terms of that set of results will be different from a different keyword set of results. And the size of the sales, if you added up page 1 and page 2, would be very different. So if you typed in Dentistick, or dental care is probably a better, dental care tube, the size of the market's going to be 1 million. If you typed in Purina, it's going to be much smaller. I haven't got this to scale, but you get the idea. And so you need to, but the conversion rates here, because the market is much smaller and because it's closer to the actual purchase, again, the funnel, people might type in Denticare sticks at the top of the funnel. And then in the middle of the funnel, they might type in, pedigree, or they might type in something, a bit more longer tail, dental care chews for large dogs, if that's what they're selling. And then at the bottom of the funnel, they might type in Purina Dentilife, actually typing in the brand name, or Purina Dentisticks, or something along those lines, and that's closer to the purchase, and therefore the size of the market is smaller, but the conversion rates are smaller. Much easier to compete in these markets than it is in these markets. I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, please do ask away. Please check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, all the usual places we are. You can go to our website and make an inquiry and ask any questions. We'll be happy to answer if we possibly can. We don't know everything, but we certainly try and help where we can. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.